that kept coming up was what were the things that you like and dislike about your characters?
Well, that's easy. Everything. Dislike everything except that he's curious, and that's not Matt alone. But that's not all he is. So.
Certainly
Say about Peach, I mean, I do love the fact that she loved and cared for her friend. I just wish it wasn't that much, you know?
I think Peach in a way is kind of the best person on the show. She really is, because she sees Joe for who he is.
Oh,
she
yeah.
does.
Yeah.
And she does love Beck. Yeah, I mean, she's being possessive and manipulative, but in that world, it's kind of the least. I think she sees things clearly. She knows what she wants. She's goes
very
for
honest.
it. She's extremely honest. I don't
That's
think,
true.
I mean, you know, this idea that like somehow Joe and Peach are on the same level, I think it's just,
you don't
Well,
agree.
they both sort of had an obsession for Beck,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You took yours a little further, but who's
A
to say that
little.
Peach wouldn't get there? I mean,
I think,
very facetious.
yeah, so I mean, you're right. I loved the head-to-head nature of the relationship once it gets there. I mean, you do, can I say, like, what, she points a gun at me, which is just.
I was ready. She was ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I do. I would have to say that I really did enjoy playing her truthfulness. As brass as it was, she was very honest, you know, and so I can admire that element to her. I just don't love so much the controlling aspect of her and on her friendship, you know.
Yeah, I get that. And in this series, you know, you guys kind of argue a lot. Like there was never a part of the show where I actually saw you actually like each other. No, not Peach and Joe at least, right?
Yeah.
So if you were going to describe to a person who hasn't watched the Netflix series You yet, how would you describe Joe's character and how would you describe Peach's character?
Like how would Joe describe Peach's character, or how would I describe Peach's
How
character?
would Penn describe Peach's character?
A caring, doting friend. And let's see. I'm inclined at this point, like I said, to actually see the best in the other characters. Because what I'm concerned about is everyone liking Joe so much and being like, you know, shipping Joe and therefore kind of dismissing all of the other characters' good qualities and only seeing the bad, because that's what Joe does. So I think Peach, again, I think she's quite sensitive. I think she's longing for human connection. She's strong. She's extremely strong. She's extremely smart. She's successful. She's almost like a detective, actually. She's able to figure out a lot, yeah. And then she looks like Shay Mitchell, so that's not bad.
I would say with Joe, this is what I always ask my friends, because, you know, when they're all like, is it bad that I find it attractive? I'm like, no, because you're looking at this, so yes. If it wasn't that case, you'd find it very creepy, you know? Also, like, remember that. But I would say that Joe is a psychopath. I mean, he is. And I have to be honest, because I have to really, you know, defend that side of him, because so many people are falling in love, and I'm like, wait, what? Are we watching the same show? Now, look, I know that he has a lot of likable characteristics to him, but you can't have the rest of it not be seen, you know? He killed people.
Yeah, but I also think that, like, real people who do have this psychological profile, people who are really capable of stuff like this, they often can be quite charming, you know. And if they're attractive, then there's that, you know. I mean, I think that's definitely part of what we're trying to think about in this show. Like, how far are we willing to go to forgive an evil white man? Quite far, apparently. It's very far.
And I think it also kind of speaks about how social media works these days, where we pick out the ones that we want to see, that we like about something, like Joe's character, and we tend to focus on that and kind of blur out every other psychopathic thing that there is in the character, right? But obviously also because he looks like that, so it makes it easier for people to fall in love. But for both your characters, was it
Charles Manson was quite handsome, as far as I understand, wasn't he? No, I'm serious. I mean,
he had
like,
a lot of
and-
love letters sent to him.
Yeah. So you know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It helps.
Okay, for both your characters, was it hard getting to character for Peach? Because a lot of people love Peach's character. As
I
in,
really want to say it was hard because she is such a interesting girl. But it wasn't, because the writing on our show, I think, was so incredible. It was so funny, her lines. And I've played such a nice, sweet character for so many years that to be able to play on the other side, I get it. I enjoy why people like playing the bad girl, you know? It is fun. And just to have that sort of like back and forth with Penn's character, it was hilarious. So I really enjoyed playing her.
what was this transition like? As you mentioned, you know, you had this like a sweet character for the longest time, and then all of a sudden you transition into something a little bit more complicated, as with Peach's character. Because there are a lot of things that are likable about her that you fall in love with Peach's character, and then there are moments throughout the series where you're just like, I can't believe Beck's friends with her.
I know.
Yeah.
And then she pulls you back in, and that's the element of being like that queen bee of the group that I dealt with, and even like the show that I was in before, you know. So it's you're kind of like Joe's character in a way where you have to have these likable characteristics because you want to have a fan group around you, you know, with the friends. But then you're also sort of the nasty one. I mean, it wasn't really that hard to play into because I've grown up with people like that, you know. So there were girls in high school that I kind of played off of them a little bit too, and yeah, it was fun.
I think I loved Peach's character because of the way that she cared for her friends, as Penn mentioned. The way that she carried herself, you know, with so much grit and so much passion and confidence. Yeah, she was so beautiful. And
She was willing to give it all up
yes,
for Beck.
for Beck.
She's willing to give it all. She was so romantic, if you think
Yeah.
about it. I mean, there was some other stuff in there, you know, there's Raj and all that. But,
and the
there's what do they call it? Okay. See, the thing, I want to make references to things in the show, but that means that I'd be taught, it's not about spoilers, it's like, it's inappropriate. I don't know that, I wouldn't normally be able to stand on stage and talk about like sex toys and have I mentioned murder?
killing people, yes, you might want to remind us.
Sorry.
No, but Penn, other people actually
That
also,
makes us laugh.
I
What is
especially
this?
love the dialogue, you know, how you would annotate some of the stuff that's going on screen. And fans are asking if you actually went for a vocal coaching for everything
No,
that's going
no,
on.
I mean, I've always,
That's his voice.
I've always been able to do that. No, but it was really fun. It was really fun. It was actually, most of my lines are in my head. Most days when I was on set, actually, I wouldn't have to memorize any lines. I would just have to do them later. And that was quite interesting. Yeah, so but you know what? I started when I was a child. When I was like 9 or 10 years old, I started in voiceovers. I worked at a radio station.
Did you really?
Yeah, and I was in
There
two.
we go.
I was in 2 Nintendo
Interesting.
64 video games. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, so it makes
See that?
sense.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
And Mario Tennis and Mario Golf.
See, so I feel like even if Penn says something as like, I like eating cotton candies, in the Joe voice, please just indulge us. Okay. Like, think of the fluffiest sentence that you can think of, and say it in your Joe voice.
I wouldn't ordinarily eat such a confectionery treat, but you are so like a cloud, like a blue puff. So delectable, such a, yeah, okay, so you get, yeah, I don't know, you gotta write, I'm an actor, I'm not a writer.
Give it up for Penn, actually. And Shay Mitchell, too. Now, before we wrap